President Yoon Suk Yeol and his UAE counterpart Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan sat down for the official summit earlier on this Wednesday. I have our senior correspondent Oh Soo-young standing by live with the latest. Soo-young, welcome. Now, I hear the summit itself ended well over an hour ago. That being said, what can you tell us about some of the agreements reached?
Good afternoon, Sunny. Yes, President Yoon and President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, they agreed to further advance their special strategic partnership through a comprehensive cooperation in 4 key sectors. First, the two countries signed their comprehensive economic partnership agreement, South Korea's first bilateral FTA with a Middle Eastern country, which will lower tariffs on all goods traded by more than 91% over a 10-year term. Then the two leaders confirmed the progress made in their economic and investment cooperation since their previous Abu Dhabi summits in January last year. They acknowledged the UAE President's pledge to invest $30 billion worth of sovereign wealth funds into South Korea's strategic industries. Now, more than $6 billion worth of investment opportunities in Korea are currently under review. The two sides agreed to expand the channels for investment cooperation to include more institutions to encourage broader and speedier investment opportunities. The two countries will also expand their cooperation in the traditional and clean energy sectors. South Korean firms have signed a letter of intent with the Abu Dhabi National Oil Corporation, providing the basis for them to receive orders for at least 6 LNG ships worth around $1.5 billion. Now, the two governments also signed MOUs to expand joint crude oil storage and establish a support system for producing clean hydrogen. Based on their successful collaboration on the construction of the Arirang nuclear power plant in the UAE, Seoul and Abu Dhabi agreed to continue exploring future opportunities for cooperation in nuclear fuel supply chains and small modular nuclear power plants. Now, defense and defense technology was yet another major area discussed by the president. They agreed on the need to strengthen long-term and strategic defense and also cooperation on defense technology centered on the ARC unit, which is South Korea's unit dispatched to the UAE. Moreover, the two leaders pledged to foster innovation in artificial intelligence by sharing in corporate partnerships as well as joint research and development and exchanges of skilled personnel. Now, a new deal also was reached to establish a ministerial-level consultative body, and that's to promote small and medium-sized businesses between the two countries. And that's the first such bilateral agreement for South Korea. Based on their very close bilateral ties, the two countries will jointly expand their ventures in third countries, and that includes African nations, in the fields of energy, infrastructure, and nuclear power, as well as strengthen cooperation on climate action on a multilateral basis. So in order to achieve all of these things, a total of 19 bilateral deals and documents were signed by the two sides, which was overseen by the two leaders after their summit.
Now, this state visit, it's the first by the president of the UAE to South Korea. And to mark the occasion, I believe he and his entourage were greeted with much fanfare, Soo-young.
That's right. During the opening ceremony, President Mohammed was received with black artillery fire and military men and women, including those who have served at South Korea's ARC unit in the UAE, along with children as well to welcome him. And there was, of course, a very chromatic demonstration by the Korean Air Force's Black Eagles aerobatic team, which flew across the sky several times, leaving smoke trails of the colors of the South Korean and UAE flags. The welcome for President Mohammed is the biggest yet by the Yoon administration, marking the first visit by a UAE leader to the country. So upon his entry into Korean airspace, 4 Air Force F-15K fighter jets, they were there to escort his plane on Tuesday. And once he touched down, President Yoon met him for an afternoon of cultural activities. Joined by First Lady Kim Gon-hee, they began with a visit to the 15th century Changgyeokgung Palace in Seoul, where they watched a traditional court dance performance, then enjoyed some tea before moving to the presidential palace of Cheongwadae for a dinner banquet. So having wrapped up their summit now, the two leaders were headed to a signing ceremony followed by an official luncheon.
Right, Soo-young, thank you for that coverage. That was our senior presidential office correspondent Oh Soo-young with the latest on President Yoon's hosting of his UAE counterpart here in Seoul.